Hey guys, what's going on? It's us from Strong Style Studios back again. Smoke, Alex, Justin. We're here to review Wrestle Kingdom 7.
New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yes. And I think right now, easily show of the year so far.
Without
any question.
Hands down.
Without any major competitors.
And one that's definitely going to be a hard bar to match.
Yep. Yeah, they set the bar really high. Really high. With
this could very well end up being the show of the year at the end of the year. Could be.
Oh yeah.
It'll definitely be. I'm gonna say right now it almost has to be top 3 show of the year.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Right. Unless the rest of this year is just unbelievable, like we've never seen.
We hope it's that good.
I hope this is the worst show. No, I'm just
right. No, Tina already took that.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna jump into it. We got the first match, which was Strongman MVP Nakanishi Akebono versus Iizuka, Bob Sapp, Yano, and Takahashi.
That's close enough.
Close enough, you know.
Whatever.
These guys are the opener, so it's hard to remember their names.
Yeah.
But this match wasn't that great for an opener. I mean, it wasn't that great at all.
No, it was kind of funny bad at parts. Just
right.
Sapp and Akebono especially are just like Sapp just does not look like he knows how to wrestle.
No, he does not. It's crazy too because he was from K1,
right?
And you know he's been in a ring before, but he looks like he's never been between the ropes.
Yeah, he was just kind of slow and he botched just about every. Like
he reminds me of like an elephant that's afraid of a mouse. The way he moves. You know?
Okay.
And we're trying to figure out who that guy who's good in the match, who we always like.
I thought it was Takahashi.
Takahashi's always stuck in these matches, and he's like,
he's
good.
above this.
It was weird because it's kind of a so bad is good type match because it's got Strongman in there too.
Right.
It's just hilarious.
He looks like straight out of the '80s, just humongous.
So, I didn't know how to.
Strongman.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to rate this match or anything, just because. At least they got the worst match out of the way. I mean, I was kind of entertained by it, but it was definitely a bad match. I give it like a 1.5 stars, I think.
I give it a 1.5 stars. It was really short and just like, nothing really happened. It just felt like a long heat segment. And like I think MVP said on Twitter, it's like, I've never been paid so much for doing so little. It's like, it's true. He did like one move. He did the elbow, and that's about it.
Yeah, this could have been a dark match. I gave it 1 star and 3/4 just because I thought it was funny to watch Akebono tip over like that. Yeah. All right. Moving on to match number 2, we have Shelton Benjamin versus Tanaka
for the
Masato Tanaka.
For the never gate what is it? The never weight champion or whatever. Chip.
I did not write that.
It was for the never weight champion.
I don't know.
I don't know what that means.
Weirdest name ever. I have no idea what that means. Okay.
But this match, it was okay. You know, it wasn't anything offensive.
It didn't overstay its welcome. At least it was.
It felt like the second match on a card.
Yeah. It was good, but short. You know, and I will say right now, Shelton Benjamin looked better than he's looked all year in ROH. Like he actually looked like he was trying to wrestle here.
Yeah.
I'd say it was your tip. I mean, yeah, he looked a little bit better, but it was typical Shelton. There wasn't anything blow away.
Yeah. Well, he did like the dive to the outside, which was kind of cool. So I'll give him that one.
Yeah.
I gave it 2 1/4.
I agree with that.
I give it as well. So unanimous.
So not a bad match, but not anything to go out of your way to see. The rest of the card, however, starts.
We start picking up here now.
That's right. The next match is the heavyweight tag title match. Lance Archer, Harry Smith versus Karl Anderson and Goto.
Yeah.
You mispronounced the name. It's not Harry Smith. It's Davey Boy Smith Jr.
Right.
Gotta get that right.
Yeah.
That's right. This match was good. I enjoyed this match. I think I enjoyed this more than most people did, actually. I thought Davey, he looks great ever since going to Japan. He's always been good, but he's really looking good in this tag team.
He fits into the role pretty well.
Yeah, and Lance Archer, he's all right. He's not anything spectacular, but I think he fits better in Japan than he does in the U.S. And Anderson and Goto, those guys are awesome. They're not going to stay a team because they're just too good.
I think I said earlier on, like they basically they gave these guys the win just so they can have on the show and give them the match on Wrestle Kingdom, but like that's about it. There's no reason for these guys to tag up any further than this.
Yeah. My only gripe with the match is I did not like Archer's performance just because he didn't sell anything. He just looked kind of cartoony to me, which is to a certain extent that's okay. I thought it was just overdone a little bit, but the other three workers all worked a pretty solid match. I mean, Goto and Anderson are both. Anderson's been coming on like crazy. He's a workhorse.
Oh yeah, he's
constantly working, and Goto is a veteran now, and I really like them as a team, and I actually would like to see more of them as a team, even though I know it's just a one-time thing. But if they brought them back, I would welcome it.
Yeah, they have a really cool name.
Yeah, Sword and Guns.
Sword and Guns.
I will say I think it could have used a little bit more time. It felt pretty short. But, obviously they want to make room for the rest of the card.
It was a 4-hour show.
Yeah.
Actually, 5 hours. If you
it was pretty short. But the back and forth at the end was pretty good. I thought, nice little, end sequence. And I really like Killer Elite Squad's finisher they do. That's really cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
That's a very cool finisher.
Ratings?
Go ahead. I give it 3 1/4.
I also gave it 3 1/4.
I went a little lower. I go 3.
Okay. But, yeah, very good match, though.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and this is where it turns up even more.
Business is about to pick up here.
The next match is Minoru Suzuki versus Yuji Nagata. This match was
very, very
stiff.
Good.
Yes, very stiff, very good.
Told a good story.
Yes, definitely. And what was great about it was that these guys know how to tell a story without burning out the crowd with finishers and near falls and stuff like that. It just felt like a grudge match.
Yeah.
And I thought it was at a perfect place on the card for one thing. I think card placement's kind of a lost art in a lot of ways, but this came between you had a nicely paced tag match, and you had this match was just kind of two, veterans going at it, just very stiff, kind of a slower match, but not boring. It was just kind of a more methodical, I guess.
Got the crowd going a little bit, got them kind of pumped up a little bit more.
Then you followed that with a crazy three-way match. But as far as this match goes, I just thought I thought Nagata was really good at playing an underdog role. And
absolutely.
Suzuki is the best at playing a bully.
And the crowd,
he's a dick.
Yeah, they really love to hate him. And there's one spot I wrote down in particular that I loved was when Suzuki had gotten so much heat in the match, and he kicked Nagata down. He's laying down, and he goes to grab and pull him back up, and Nagata sits up, and the crowd just goes crazy.
Yeah.
And I just love that. They did it a couple times, but I loved that spot.
But what's cool about that is they kept doing those kind of things where he'd act like he was going to make the comeback, and then they kept shooting it back down. But it's just the fact he was still fighting was getting him over more. Of the crowd.
It's also impressive the crowd kept buying into all his near comebacks. I would say right now though, one thing I wrote down, I loved Nagata's facials, when he's in that sleep hold, he looked like he was passed out, his eyes rolling back in his head, he really sold it, he was being choked out, and I'll give him credit for that. I will say one thing, Suzuki should have won. I mean, he was beating the shit out of Nagata the whole match, and I think that after that really great match he had at Wrestle King of Pro Wrestling, he should have that win to keep him kind of in the spotlight and kind of keep him in that area of he could get a title shot down the road again.
Well, as far as Suzuki goes, for me, I feel I would have liked him to win too. But the thing is, this loss doesn't really hurt him because you still feel like he's the kind of guy who can beat anybody, and he also he's also a hothead, so he can maybe lose some matches he shouldn't. Okay. But I feel like he just comes off as a dangerous guy.
Yeah, I agree. And it doesn't take a lot of crazy things that he just goes out there and plays the character and kicks the shit out of people.
So you can have him have a few losses, but you still know he's a threat, basically.
Yes. Very good match, though.
I rated this 3 3/4. I thought Nagata's selling could have been a little bit better.
I agree, and same rating.
I agree, same rating.
Sounds good. Unanimous.
Yeah.
Moving right along here, we got the 3-way, and this was for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title. The match was between Kota Ibushi, Low-Ki, and Prince Devitt. Devitt. And he's the champion.
Yes.
This was phenomenal. This was a great match. One of the best 3-ways you're going to see I've seen in quite some time.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
Low-Ki wrestled this match in a full suit, dressed up like
Agent 47 from the Hitman series for all my video game fans.
And that was crazy. I mean, and a lot of times you see guys wrestle in suits or jeans or things like that, and it just looks off, but it was crazy.
He made it work.
Yeah, it was like watching a kung fu movie or something. It was wild.
He'll give Ray a run for his money for best costume,
Yeah, that was sweet.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
They did blow out the pants.
A
little early, but
you gotta expect that.
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
But anyway, as for the match itself, this just had this is what you expect. It was just like wall-to-wall action, just a lot of low-keys being stiff as hell, like normal.
Yeah.
But it was actually a nice contrast of styles, despite, you think, a lot of guys, like, look at guys of that size and they're in Japan and think they all wrestle the same style. These guys wrestled three very different styles. Yeah. And they just flowed together so well. It allowed for a wide variety of spots that they could do. So it's it was just everything they did was innovative. Like you never knew what was going to happen next. And actually, at times, I was afraid to see what was going to happen next because these guys might kill each. I mean, like Loki he can come out of nowhere and just
Loki can hurt you.
Definitely. I love this match, and again, placement on the card. It was kind of like midway through, and
I think it was like right before intermission.
Yeah, like right before intermission. Yeah. Perfect place for that match to be, and just completely met my expectations. Probably exceeded them. Yeah. Just a great match.
I think this match was just insane. Just great sequences of like back and forth. The timing of like their spots, like where Ibushi would miss a spot on Loki, and then Devitt would come out of nowhere and hit him and take him out of the match. And just like they had timing down to a T, and like one misstep, and like they would have blown a spot or someone got hurt.
I believe I wrote that too. Is that there was such a large margin for error with these moves, but they were so perfectly done.
One spot that in particular was when Loki had Devitt on the apron, or like on the turnbuckle, like about to do the double stomp. And Ibushi comes up, springs up, Hurricane, and just like
that was nuts. That is
insane. That is so dangerous, and just phenomenal. This is exactly the kind of match you wanted. Like it was just perfect mix of styles, and just three guys that are junior, but are like some of the best in the world, and like they showed exactly why they deserve that moniker of being some of the top talent in the world.
As for ratings,
I gave it 4 1/4.
I gave it 4 1/4 as well.
I did it also. Are you guys reading off my
No, I guess we're just agreeing today.
Great minds think alike.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. And we are some great minds.
All right, and the next match we had Otani and Muto versus Ten-Koji.
Yeah, Tenzan and Kojima.
Yes.
This was pretty good. This was a fun match. It was... I didn't like it as much as these guys did, so I'm going to let you guys go ahead and...
I was kind of the same boat. I
liked it more than these guys.
I thought it was a really good match. I didn't really get into the that much. Like I thought it was it was good, but like I just didn't really get into like the build up and the heat and everything. Action was kind of slow. I mean, Muta isn't as agile as he used to be, so he was working a little bit slower than you expect from his older matches. Threw a lot of Shining Wizards in there, like every 5 moves, it's a Shining Wizard.
That's a problem of his that he's got with a lot of these big shows is that he throws so many of those Shining Wizards.
Crowd loved it though, so I'll give credit for like them getting the crowd involved. Also, I had a few problems like with the camera, which is like look away from the action, like was looking at something else or whatever, and like you'd miss a spot or something. Like they're really focusing on who was supposed to be in the match originally, but fractured his arm.
Hashimoto.
Yes.
Hashimoto.
Like he was at ringside, and they'd have like the camera look over at him, and they'd miss the action. So I thought that really sucked. So, but yeah, I enjoyed it, but it was definitely not as good as some other people might think, in my opinion.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Mine. Yeah, I probably like this more than most people. I thought it was just like a fun match, and I thought Muta looked good. Like other people are saying, like he looked slower and stuff. I thought he looked good. I think what I like about him is that his moves aren't flashy, but they just look like his technique looks good. The moves look believable. And I didn't think Otani looked that good. I thought he was the weak part of the match. But Tenzan and Kojima are a great tag team, so they kept the fun factor kind of going a little bit while Muta was being more serious, and I don't know, I thought it was a good match, a good it delivered. It was again a different kind of match than the rest of the card. Lots of variety on this card, so I gave it 3.5. I thought it was really quite a good match.
Okay.
I didn't hate this match. I mean, it was a good match, don't get me wrong. I just didn't I don't know, Otani and Muta, it didn't click for me. It felt kind of almost like a house show or something. I don't know, but it was still good match. I give it 3 stars.
I gave it 3 as well.
All right.
And what do we got next?
Next is Shibata versus Makabe, and that was for the
that was a non-title match.
That was just a kind of like a grudge match. I really enjoyed that match.
Yeah,
actually, it felt like a real fight. These guys, it felt like they had a real grudge. They didn't like each other. I really wanted to see Makabe win this one.
Yeah.
You know, I really wanted him to win the whole match.
Well, it's kind of part of the dynamic of the match is like Makabe's not the most, you know, I don't know what's the word. He just doesn't look like a likable guy. He's just kind of the more bully guy, and then you got kind of the, I don't know what you would call it. The Shibata is kind of the good guy in this match, and I don't know. I just he just looks like he wanted to be beat up.
Okay. I thought it was really good, like really hard hitting. You know, a lot like the Suzuki match. Like, just really felt heated. I will say, like, I didn't know these guys were in a feud. It's like as soon as I saw these guys start wrestling, I was like, okay, these guys hate each other, and like I was invested. You know, it's like I enjoyed it. These guys beat the shit out of each other.
Yep, hard hitting.
Oh yeah,
stiff.
Could have used more time. I thought.
Yeah,
I thought it was. I didn't mind the amount that was given.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just my opinion.
Ratings.
I give it 3.5 stars.
I did as well.
I did as well. Holy shit, man.
We didn't even watch this show together.
No, we did not.
No, we did not. No.
All right, the next match is the IWGP Intercontinental Championship match. The champion, Shinsuke Nakamura versus Kazushi Sakuraba.
Sakuraba, yeah.
And this match was amazing.
Oh my
this
God.
match was,
Really good.
I mean, really go out of your way to see this match.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it took no effort at all to suspend my disbelief, you know? It felt like a fight. It felt like these guys were out there really having a fight. And it had like this nice feeling out process build, and then there was just that slap to the face, and it was on.
Oh my God. I will say right now, this is how if you want to mix MMA with wrestling, this is how you do it. You start with a technical wrestling match, and then like as soon as they have that moment where it clicks, and it's just, it was stiff as hell.
Yeah.
And I actually liked just like how it kind of like was played, like, you know, like, oh, they should respect each other, and like they have like this little technical back and forth. Then Nakamura slaps him. Nakamura. Sorry, Jesus, I'm really bad with the names. Slaps him across the face and just like, okay, shit's on now, and like it was a fight.
Yeah, and it was just like the intensity just went from. I mean, the thing is, you felt intensity even when they were just doing kind of the mat work, but it was kind of like both guys were kind of getting frustrated because they couldn't get the upper hand.
Yeah.
But then once the slap happened, then the intensity just was off the charts.
It went to 11.
Yeah, it went to 11.
This was a great, and the thing was like, it wasn't like a match where one of the guys targeted a certain body part and it was like slowly methodical. These guys just wanted to knock each other out or make them submit. They wanted to end it. It felt like they just wanted to hurt each other.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Nakamura got knocked out for like a minute when he took that he like went diving toward him, and
that was my favorite spot.
Got a knee right under the chin, and just they showed it in slow motion. Like you just see like the lights go out, and like
Nakamura was actually going for a go behind. So when he went down on his knee, Sakuraba brought his knee up and caught him right under the chin.
That was unbelievable.
Laid him out. That was really, really awesome.
Nakamura quickly became one of my favorite New Japan guys in this match, just because you're just like, we watch this guy wrestle, and like he's just so nonchalant, and he just strikes you with these hard hits. You're just like, this guy just knows he's a badass, and it's like, I don't need to worry about this. I'm about to kick your ass, and
he's so good at fighting that it doesn't bother him that he just stumbled into a ring.
But that's another part of the dynamic that was good. Was Sakuraba was taking it like so seriously. It's like very much like a real MMA. Well, he does.
He is a martial arts.
Yeah, but just taking his craft very seriously, like taking his opponent very seriously, and then here's Nakamura, who is just like
whatever.
It looks like he's blowing it off.
Yeah.
But so that you could tell throughout the match it was building, getting more and more frustration out of Sakuraba as the match went along.
Nakamura is the definition of zero fucks given. He is the definition of it.
Yeah.
Phenomenal match though.
Yeah,
I wish this match was longer.
That was my only complaint.
Like if this has gone like maybe 5 minutes, I could have easily given it 5 stars. Like it was incredible. But at the same time, it's like you kind of appreciate the fact it was short because it makes it feel that much more real. Like these guys couldn't take that many stiff strikes to the head and stuff.
Right, the pace they ended up going at.
Yeah,
the pace is incredible,
right?
Longer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ratings?
I give it 4 1/4, but like for the time given, a 4 1/4 match is like really.
Yeah, this match was like
9 minutes.
Yeah,
like,
it was under 10 minutes.
like just under 10 minutes. Yeah, and like
for that amount of time given, you can't get much better. Than
no,
that.
it's very hard to do that. I give it 4 1/4 as well.
I absolutely love this match, and Nakamura's my favorite guy, so I went with 4.5.
Okay, we finally disagree about a rating. Holy shit!
Yes, but I mean,
yeah,
the match is great.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That is a match you need to see. It's absolutely
See
phenomenal.
this entire show.
Oh, absolutely. But like that match especially, and this one following it.
And yes, the next match, the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. This is Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Kazuchika Okada, and this match was incredible. And this
unbelievable.
See, the match before, it was shorter, but this match was long, but it didn't feel long.
No,
It was constantly, they were having exchanges, and it never slowed down. Boring.
This match was like 30 minutes long or so. I could have watched the match for another half an hour, and I would not have been bored. It was just, I was just so engrossed by the story that they're telling in the ring, and just by like their pacing, their rest, just like the targeting the body parts, just near perfect match.
Yeah, I loved it. I mean, I thought it's definitely going to be up there for match of the
Oh, hell
year,
yeah.
I think. These guys know each other pretty well because this is their third match for the title, and they had previously, in 2012, had 2 really great matches, so I knew this was going to be good. But this actually exceeded my lofty expectations because this was just about near perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just, you got the sense that these guys knew each other so well that they could almost wrestle in their sleep at this point.
Yeah,
Very... like for the amount of stuff that they did and the amount of time they did, they hardly ever screwed up.
No,
even a little bit. Like it was just. I also loved the build towards the end where it really put over Okada pretty well, even though
he did not win.
He did not win, but it put him over a lot because it just looked like he wasn't ever good. He took everything Tanahashi had to throw at him, and he was still kicking out, and he almost hit the Rainmaker, and that moment you're just like, oh, it was just kind of like jumping out of your seat type thing.
I will say right now, that the false finish of Tanahashi hitting the splash, I thought for sure, like, okay, that's it. I literally said out loud, like, oh, that's it, that's the finish. And, like, he kicked out, and, I couldn't believe it. I was like, how did he, like, I thought for sure that was finished. And, like, it just, and then it kept building and building. I was like, oh, my God, this is just amazing.
And I think that's one thing that I should mention about this match was that, you see a lot of matches, especially in like independent wrestling, where there's a lot of big moves that get kicked out of.
Yeah.
But this match, they built up those moves so much that you actually believed that it was over, and that's a big part of it. Is they sold those false finishes so well.
Absolutely.
Every move mattered. Both the guys' finishers just seemed like foregone conclusions about once they hit them.
Yeah.
And it was just such a well-built match.
Absolutely. Just everything about this match was great. My only complaint is I think Okada should have won. That's my only complaint. And I'm sure people might disagree, but I just thought that it was the right time. The build had been there. Tanahashi was over. Okada had been was just the biggest rising star in New Japan. It just felt like the great time to give the belt to him. And I'm sure they have the reason, and I'm sure when he wins the belt again, I'm sure he'll be happy. But I thought that this was like perfect timing. So
I would have been okay either way, just because I felt like even though Kota lost, he still looks like he's almost Tanahashi's equal still because
he did not hit the Rainmaker. That's the big point.
Yeah, he didn't. So it's like they left that if he hits the Rainmaker, maybe he can beat Tanahashi.
That's a very good thing. And then they put up that move huge in New Japan Pro Wrestling. That's like the end all be all for moves.
And I'm gonna go ahead and give my rating for the match. I gave it 4 3/4. This match was phenomenal, like we've been saying.
Yeah.
And what would you say?
This may come as a surprise. I'm gonna go all out and give it a 5.
Wow.
Which I don't give very often at all, but I thought this match was just about as good as it could be. It just felt like such a special match, and just the fact that these guys have. I think what pushed over the edge was the build up to the match.
Yeah,
the guys' history.
The feud,
like moves that had worked in previous matches were being reversed. It felt like they scouted each other, and it just. Plus, they had the whole dynamic of Okada never giving up, and it had the excitement. It just had pretty much everything I wanted out of the match. So I'm going 5. It's on the border between 4 3/4 and 5, but I'm going all in.
I said 4 3/4 as well. Like I said, I think if Okada had won, I would have easily gave it 5 stars. But
I think that's fair to say.
I'll say right now though, Okada made me a huge fan of him in this match. Like I'm just like I'm in love with this guy now.
Yes,
he is.
He's really, and he was really over with the crowd during this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The crowd was like just going ape shit for this. They were ready to see him win. And I will say right now though, this whole show though made me a New Japan Pro Wrestling fan. I think it was better than King of Pro Wrestling. I just think just from like top to bottom, like every match. I think just it had a better pacing for me.
Yeah, I think the card might have overall was probably a little bit better.
Yeah. Well,
it was close though.
the once it really got started, this was better.
Yeah.
But King of Pro Wrestling was maybe more consistent through for every match, just because this one had kind of the first 2 matches were kind of.
But after this show, I'm definitely following New Japan Pro Wrestling all this year. I cannot wait for the next show that these guys do, and just phenomenal work. And just this is the definition of like what it looks like a WrestleMania show should be. Like you felt the grandeur, the stage was awesome. They had the live performances which weren't overdone. They
were done really well too as entrances.
And
it had this huge spectacle feeling.
Yeah.
Okada's entrance for the match too, that was awesome. Like you just felt like the way he just walked in, like heard himself and then came down from the rafters. Like this guy is a star. Like and you just got that feeling of like he's this guy should be respected. Yeah. And just phenomenal show. Overall, I'll give the whole show 9.5 out of 10. Just easily one of the best shows of the year, and I think everyone should check this out. Even if you're not a fan of Japanese wrestling, I think you'll find
it'd be a good start because this is kind of like the WrestleMania.
Yeah.
This will be something you're familiar to seeing far as
and it has a variety of different kinds of matches. Like every match has a different feel to it. It's not just. I mean, some shows you go through and it just feels like every match is hard to tell apart, but this one every match is distinct and it has feuds and stories going behind the matches.
They're really good about telling the story, the feud in the match too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But if nothing else, see the triple threat match, see the Intercontinental match, and see the main event. See those 3 matches.
Definitely. What did you rate the show?
I'll go 9.5 as well. I mean, it's going to be hard to beat. Maybe it'll be beaten, but that's
we hope it's beaten.
It's a pretty great show.
That's going to make 3 9.5s here because that was just such an amazing show. It's hard to get a show much better than that. I mean,
that was probably like I heard a lot of people saying that was like the best show since Death for Honor 7 from Ring of Honor back in 2000.
This was just an amazing show either way.
Oh, absolutely phenomenal.
All right, well, that's our Wrestle Kingdom 7 review. Go out, see this show.
It's on YouTube. No reason you should not have to. You should out.
Check it out and tune in for more videos from Strong Style Studios.